Hey guys, welcome back. In this episode we are going to be exploring Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, but this one's going to be slightly different because rather than using the usual camera tricks, we're going to be using the built-in debug mode that comes with the game. And I kinda like this because any of you guys who still have an N64 copy of this game, you can all try this out for yourselves. Alrighty, so let's get started with probably the most popular mission, the Battle of Hoth, and who wouldn't enjoy flying between the legs of an AT-AT? But we're here to explore, not to play, so let's fly out of bounds. And actually, when you get out here, there is a lot of unused map beyond these mountains, and we can even see where the skybox meets the ground. Now, because I'm using the debug menu, there's a lot of tools at my disposal, including being able to raise the jump power and lower the gravity settings, which on the foot missions lets us see things and get to the places we wouldn't normally be able to. We can also breach through doors and walls using no-clip, and although there isn't much out through these doors, I was surprised at how far the outside of the map goes, even way beyond the dense fog. When I was a kid playing this game, I was always intrigued by this room high up in this wall. I even remember using debug mode back then just to get up here, and to say I was disappointed was an understatement because there is nothing in this room. However, I still haven't found out why this even exists. It's actually this switch on the wall that not only opens this door, but also makes this section of map split apart. If we use no-clip and go through the door without activating the switch, the position trigger doesn't work and the map stays together. Also, by skipping the AT-ST fight using no-clip, we get a rather strange ending cutscene to the level, which you'll see in just a moment. If, like me, you ever wanted to know or hoped there was something behind the doors in the Millennium Falcon, then I'm afraid, unfortunately not. As for that final cutscene, here they are. One of my favourite levels on Shadows of the Empire was Ord Mantell Junkyard. I love the fact that you were on a moving hover train and it was great fun to play. Let's take a quick look at how the level works. First of all, by doing a huge moon jump, we can see that the map isn't too wide beyond what we'd normally see. I'm not 100% sure how the layout of this track runs, but at this point I did another jump and ended up going out of bounds. But weirdly, this loaded up the first section of track that we're starting, making me think at some point we must do more or less a full circle. I wanted to know where the hover train we jump onto comes from, as it's on a separate track. By taking the fog out of the game, we can just about see where the beginning of the track is. And also, what's beyond the building at the end of the track where the train crashes? Gal's Spaceport was one of those levels that just took forever to explore because of its size. One of the things I did want to show, just in case anybody was wondering, was how there isn't really anything above the clifftops or anything behind them. They also, for some reason, even at the start of the level when we don't have the jetpack, go so high that the highest points don't load up. As you can see here, the platform we walk on disappears below us. There is a section of the clifftops that we can walk on, even though it wouldn't normally be possible to get up here, because of the limited jetpack supply and an invisible barrier on the other side during the next stage of the level. I guess it's only here because in the next stage we find ourselves in a large hollowed out section of the cliffs, but why it's loaded into this stage when we never really see it, I'm not too sure. So in the final fight of the level against Boba Fett, I found some hidden ammo inside the map. We've seen this before on previous games and figured it was just easier for the developers to debug the game like this. However, I genuinely think in this instance, these may have just been placed here by accident. Here at Slippy Slides I do love a good Easter egg, as you know, and in this game there is none better than this one. When entering the desert to Beggar's Canyon, take a sharp left and you'll come across this challenge point. The first thing you'll notice is it's kind of odd looking compared to the usual Rebel Alliance symbol, and that's because it's a reference to the 1993 LucasArts game Sam & Max, Max being a crazy kind of bunny rabbit. At the end of level Imperial Freighter Saprosa, if we jump outside the map, we find this texture that has dots on it, and I've not seen this texture anywhere else in the game. And at a push, they might even look a bit like stars. Now, I wonder if this was ever the intention to use this as the Skybox texture, rather than just the black one we see now. Sewers of Imperial City was an interesting level to explore. There were a few things that I found outside the map. Like at the start, if we breach through this wall, there's this brick texture around the base of the map that you can walk on. We can also find this hidden way below the end level boss. After disabling the fog, we can see just how far down underneath the map I am. And why this is all hidden down here, I'm not too sure. Let's just have a quick look and close-up of the giant Dianoga without any fog, because we wouldn't normally be able to get this close to it. At this point I also just wanted to take a quick look into the entrance of how I believe it is pronounced Shizor's Palace. I'm sure you Star Wars guys will correct me if I'm wrong, but I just wanted to see what was there before we hit the loading screen. Right guys, coming to the end now. I just wanted to find out where the floor goes when it opens out when we're fighting the Gladiator Drive. And I have used no clip for this, so we should be able to go through the wall. Here we go. And it's still going. And it goes quite a long way outside the map actually. I didn't expect it to go this far. Last but not least, if you ever wondered what was inside a Star Destroyer, then you'll be surprised to know it's just empty space, because somehow I managed to fly the Millennium Falcon inside of it, although it was just a one-off and I was never able to repeat it and get it on film. So that is it for this episode guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. There's plenty more to come. I am thinking about starting to do glitches again because a few of you guys are asking me for glitch videos. But anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. As always, take care and stay slippy.